What's going on, everybody? It's Afro Think Tank. White people, aka Europeans, are Neanderthals. They're Neanderthals mixed with other archaic hominids. That's the truth. And I think that should explain their behavior, how they're so much different from the rest of us. And it's not even disrespectful to say that they're Neanderthals, but I think we just need to kind of start making it normal to call them what they are. That's why, if you notice, I've been calling them Neanderthals, because that's what they are. It's the only way to explain their barbaric behavior. Now listen, African people are a combination of many different other Homo sapiens, other hominids itself in Africa, as there were many different hominids that are combined to make us the final form of humanity, humans, right? But those Neanderthals, a totally different breed of hominid, a very vicious, barbaric, savage, self-centered, individualistic, non-communal group of barbarian, savage hominids. Clearly, when they mix with the other Cro-Magnons, right, that species of human is different from the rest. As there's a reason why, most of the barbarian, savage hominids in that area went extinct, right? We know that Neanderthals went extinct. We assume that they went extinct, but they didn't go extinct. Not all of them. Some of them mixed with the other humans that made their way up into the northern regions of Europe, and they intermixed, interbred, right? And the result is these Europeans. That's the only way you can explain their behavior, which is anti-nature, anti-everything, kill, destroy. Their answer to everything is kill, destroy, take. It also explains why they never built anything in Europe, as that place is not who would volunteer to be in that area? Who wants to be there? If you could pick any place on earth, where would you want to be there? It's not a place conducive for multiplying in a communal setting, because there's not enough for everybody. Right? And I think it's time that we just continue to call them barbarians. Hey, they don't mind being called Neanderthals. As a matter of fact, now that they're admitting that they're Neanderthal mixed with other archaic humanoids, now they're making the Neanderthal go from being an unga bunga, caveman, to a sophisticated hominid with, culture and intelligence. Now that they're associated with their true ancestors, their Neanderthals, now they want to smarten up and clean up the image of those Neanderthals. But they are in fact they actually look like Neanderthals. If you go into the Smithsonian History Museum and you look at a Neanderthal and you look at a white person from Europe, they look like Neanderthals. They look like archaic hominids, Cro-Magnons, another human species. And that's the thing. Reality is actually more fantastical than anything we've created in these Bibles, Qurans, and Torahs, and all that stuff. The real history of how human beings became what they are, right, is just a massive, massive combination of nature trying many different things within the hominid, within the, human category, and things working out. That's why in Africa we got 3 or 4 or 5 different versions of Africans, right? Because those are different versions, different combinations of different, humanoids that intermix with each other to create us, right? Same thing goes for Europeans. Same thing goes for Asians. They are mixed with Denisovans, right? Denisovans. And some Denisovans and some Neanderthals mixed and created a group of people in those Astan areas, right? Right in the middle, right? With anything that says Astan, the part of Europe nobody talks about, right? The part that melds into the Caucasus Mountains, those are where the Denisovans and the Neanderthals and some archaic humans mixed together and made those group of people. And that's the truth. It's not even science fiction. It's the truth. So I think we should take these in consideration, and when we look at their behavior. I mean, let's talk about dogs. Chihuahuas, a very small dog, right? Very aggressive. For whatever reason, that little teeny weeny dog is very aggressive, right? But then let's get something like a Great Dane. Very massive. Not really all that aggressive, right? But imagine having a Chihuahua mentality with a Great Dane. It would just be too much, right? You can't have a Great Dane with a Chihuahua mentality. That'd be insane, right? You'd rather have the Chihuahua mentality, in that Chihuahua. You rather have, but if you had a Great Dane mentality inside the Chihuahua, it would just be a rat. It would have no it probably couldn't even survive. It'd be too docile and too small, couldn't protect itself, couldn't do anything, right? It would just be a little thing, right? So if you look at dog species, all dog species have different patterns of aggression. Bulldogs, pit bulls, right? Those are dogs that you don't let fight each other. You don't let those dogs fight it out and figure it out amongst themselves, because those type of dogs tend to fight to the death, versus getting two golden retrievers or something like that, or two German shepherds in a pack. They will fight it out, they will hash it out, they will stop. There's a limit to how far they're going to go, because they have the wherewithal, they have the mind to stop, because they don't want to kill each other, but they want to dominate and assert their dominance. But a pit bull, a bulldog, is going to want to kill because of its breed. If you look at these Europeans, all they want to do is kill because of their breed, right? So I just wanted to break that down. They are, in fact, Neanderthals. And this white man is going to tell you he's a Neanderthal. He's going to tell you he's a Neanderthal. And just take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach them. I'm out.
Europeans are Neanderthals. This isn't an insult. It's an anthropological receipt. They literally brag about their Neanderthal DNA like it's a flex, when all it really means is their ancestors couldn't keep their icy little caves to themselves, and ended up crossbreeding with the last hairy, beetle-browed remnants of pre-humans, while Africans were mapping the stars, charting calendars, and birthing civilizations in the Nile Valley. Europeans were hiding in caves, trying to figure out how to not freeze to death in the snow, while Mesopotamians were inventing writing. Europeans were inventing grunting, while the Olmecs were carving colossal heads out of stone. Europeans were still smashing each other with rocks, like it was a multiplayer tutorial they never advanced from. The entire European timeline is just Neanderthal cosplay, dressed up as culture, Viking sagas, caveman piracy, Greek myths, a fan fiction remix of African and Near Eastern wisdom, slapped on marble, Roman law, Neanderthals scribbling cave graffiti, and calling it a constitution. Even their so-called Renaissance was just them dusting off books they stole from Africa and the Arab world, peeking at them with their beetle brows furrowed, muttering fire, good, and don't forget hygiene. Actual humans across Asia, Africa, and the Americas were bathing, perfuming, and inventing soap, while the Neanderthal-descended Europeans were so allergic to water they thought washing caused disease. They would literally rot in their own filth, layering perfume on plague, while calling other people savages. That's the Neanderthal way. Eat with your hands, fear the sun, hoard trinkets you didn't make, and smash anything you don't understand. So yes, Europeans are Neanderthals, genetically, spiritually, culturally. Not the architects of civilization, but the last cave-dwelling squatters who wandered out of the Ice Age, with a club in one hand and lice in their hair, and then had the audacity to lecture the rest of the world about being civilized. Cope.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.